What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this 2023 Kia EV6 GT. This one's finished off in runway red. MSRP is around $63,000 and this thing packs a punch. So let's get right into it. Powering this 2023 Kia EV6 GT is a 77.4 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. It has a dual motor E all-wheel drive and cranks out 576 horsepower with 545 pound-feet of torque. It can do 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, quarter mile time in 11.4 seconds at 121 miles per hour, and it has around a 200-mile range. The curb weight is 4,800 pounds, and it can even tow 2,300 pounds. The overall length is 184.3 inches, with wheelbase at 114.2. Height comes in at 60.8 inches, with width at 74.4, and then ground clearance is 6.1 inches. And then now moving on to the styling with the EV6 GT. This is a really sharp looking electric car, especially in this color with all the gloss black accents. We got a massive set of LED headlights, and you can see the LED DRL running all around them, and a very nice blacked out housing. We got a cool trim design up in front with more gloss black, along with a forward facing camera and the new Kia badge. Down below you can see all of your parking sensors within the front bumper. Then we have an active grille shutter down below with a safety sensor to improve efficiency and cooling when needed. There's some gloss black in the lower portion, and overall it does have a very aggressive design. I like how smooth all the lines are, and it comes together nicely. You can see a really sharp line going from the front of the hood all the way towards the windshield. I think overall the Kia EV6 is a sporty looking crossover. As you make our way to the side profile, you get a really cool set of wheels finished in a two-tone machine silver and gloss black, and you get a massive lime green brake caliper up in front. Very cool design. You can also see body color for the fender flares with another parking sensor, and then a nice sharp line throughout the entire side of the doors. This features a flush mounted set of door handles that are body colored, and when you tap the unlock button or just get close to it, they'll pop out along with the power folding mirrors. You can see an LED turn signal as well as a side view camera, and then all gloss black on the A-pillar as well as surrounding the windows. We get a glass portion in the front portion of the roof for your sunroof, then some body colored in back with an integrated spoiler. I love the gloss black trim underneath that to kind of make the roof look like it's floating. And then looking at the side profile, the 21-inch wheels look fantastic, and I think all the proportions come together very well. It's got a low overhang up front and a nice sporty looking rear end design, and that black trim piece in the lower portion of the doors cuts its way up and follows the taillights. I think overall the EV6 has a fantastic look, and I just love how wide the car is. You can see these really large bulges for the rear fenders, just giving it that sporty design, a very steeply rigged rear piece of glass, and a nice integrated spoiler, all part of these LED taillights. And then with the car unlocked, you can see those LEDs just tapping here on the bottom corner. That door is going to pop open and we get our charge port. It will give you an indication right here on how the charge is. You have two buttons as well, and just pressing that, we can automatically close it. Moving to the rear now, you get the new Kia badge in the center, EV6 on the left, and some nice chrome trim throughout this liftgate. We have the GT badge as well, and then a lot of gloss black throughout this rear diffuser. Reverse light is integrated all down below with more parking sensors and reflectors, and I think overall the EV6 GT is a sporty looking EV. And then now taking a look at the key fob, you have your remote start as well as the smart park feature. All of your buttons are on the side. You have the power liftgate, lock and unlock. Lock button is a cool trigger design. So the GT is going to get a very cool set of bucket seats finished off in leather and Alcantara. You even have lime green piping. Moving to the door panel finished off in black, we have all black Alcantara for the insert as well as your armrest, a nice size grab handle, all of your window and mirror controls with lock and unlock, then some gloss black trim and a silver release handle. We get a Meridian sound system with a very nice piece of mesh for the grille, and then a pretty large storage area. There's some silver trim on the door sill, and then you get manual controls for these bucket seats. I love the smooth leather with all this lime green stitching and piping, and then the Alcantara has more stitching all throughout it. Super cool looking seats, definitely a nice touch for the GT trim level. You got GT back here as well, and then we get a two-spoke steering wheel with lime green accents. And then now inside the EV6 GT, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. The two screens are going to turn on, and the car is basically going to roar to life. As you can see, we get a massive LCD screen for your gauge cluster along with the infotainment screen. Taking a look at this, you can see your speed on the left with your range over on the right, a few vitals in the center as well. You can configure that by tapping these icons right here. If I scroll left and right by just tapping this pages icon, you can go into each menu and see what it has. So there's a few things that will pop up. You also have some of the range information, things like that. Then we have your sport mode control on this left side for drive modes. If I go ahead and toggle this, we have a normal mode as well as a sport mode, which significantly changes how the vehicle is going to drive. And then on the far right side, we have your GT icon. And when you press this, it goes into a custom GT mode with some lime green accents, which is a pretty cool touch. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, you can see controls for Bluetooth and audio on the right. You also get your cruise control on the left with the lane keeping as well as the steering intervention, and then your distance pacing. And then behind the steering wheel, we have paddle shifters right here. This is going to control the regenerative braking. You can see that icon right here where it says level 3. If you tap the right one, you can go down and the left one goes up. That's basically how much it'll pull the car back when slowing down. You have the stalk on the right for windshield wipers, then your turn signal stalk on the left, and when you do it, you get a camera popping up for both sides. To the left of the steering wheel now, we have some controls for your interior lighting, your power liftgate, electronic parking brake, as well as traction control and your power. You can see an air vent, and then a really cool vinyl material running around the dashboard. This does feature a heads-up display. Then you can see more of this vinyl material all along the dash with your GT badge. There's all ambient lighting under here, which has a really nice look, especially that silver trim piece connecting the air vents. And then taking a look at the center infotainment screen, your main screen right here has a nice bit of information. You can scroll over, you can see your EV information as well to get kind of a good look at all that. We also have climate controls that'll come up on the screen. You're able to adjust where everything is, the heat, the air conditioning, and things like that. Then you also have navigation, a few more items as you would all expect. If I go ahead and go into reverse now, your backup camera pops up on the left with a top-down view, and you can configure all the different views you'd like to see, which is a really good touch. We do get a 360 camera, and it's super easy how everything works, going up and down. So really nice just how snappy everything is. Then if I go ahead and put us into drive, that front view camera is gonna pop up as well. Then I can just tap the P button, and we're back into park. Underneath that, we get all your climate controls and radio controls. Right now you can see some shortcuts for your map and navigation, radio and media. If you tap this fan icon, it doubles as all of your climate controls. So similar information that you just saw on the other screen. We have your dual zone temperature as well, and it's just super easy how everything is laid out. Underneath that, you can see plugs down below, a lot of storage space down here. You can also see some of the ambient lighting, and I like how this is a floating center console. We have heated seats as well as a heated steering wheel, more ambient lighting, 2 cup holders and wireless phone charging, and then we get a shortcut for your camera as well as parking sensors, and then an auto hold. There's more of this vinyl material with a cool gray stripe on the center armrest. We get more storage, and then a lot of storage all underneath. And then going over to the glove box, you can just press this button, and we have a pretty large bucket. And then one last look at the interior. The GT is really cool looking, especially with all the green accents and these nice bucket seats. We do get a black headliner with your sunshades for the sunroof. Dome lights are up on top. You can see your controls. And then we have a mirror up front with garage door openers. And then moving to the rear seat space, I can grab the door handle and open it up. The door panel is finished off just like we saw up front, even with the black Alcantara, the gloss black trim. You do get a heat button back here for the rear seat. Then you have more manual controls for the seats. I love how you're still going to see all the Alcantara and lime green accents. This can seat 3 people, and we can pull this down, and we get a really nice armrest with 2 cup holders. And then you do get 2 USB-C plugs down in front. So then now hopping into the back seat of the EV6, I'm 5'11" and honestly fitting back here so well. We have plenty of headroom, plenty of knee room as well, even with the driver's seat set at my height. We have ambient lighting back here. There's air vents on these B pillars, really good armrests on the left as well as using that center one. And there's quite a lot of glass back here to make it feel nice and open, especially on this left side. You have this little corner glass. So it's a really comfortable back seat. This is a pretty practical, normal car. We do have your LED dome lights up on top, and then you even get grab handles and hooks. And then now onto the cargo area, you have the button on the key fob, the one on the rear, as well as that one on the interior. So the power liftgate is going to automatically open up, and we get a pretty good amount of storage space in here. You can see how it's nice and squared off, Since that rear glass does slope down a little bit, your height is gonna be not the most compared to other vehicles. However, you still get quite a lot of storage space in here, nice and squared off. You can grab under here, and we have some hidden storage space all underneath the floor. And then I really like how there's a handle on each side. You can pull these and get the seats out of the way. So really nice how you can do that from back here. Really opens up the interior space now. And then if we go through the side, you can see just how much more storage space you're gonna get with these seats folding down nice and flat. You still got a lot of space all up in front, and it certainly makes for a practical vehicle. All right, guys, so we are setting off in the EV6 GT. We're in the GT mode, and this thing packs a punch. You can genuinely get this all-wheel drive system to kind of squeal the tires, chirp the tires just a little bit. It sounds so cool. Basically, it gets louder and louder in each mode. So if we go down to Eco, which is honestly pretty sluggish, full throttle. Not bad. I mean, that still got us up and going. A little bit quieter. Normal mode. A little bit louder and then a lot faster. Sport mode. Nice and peppy. And then the GT mode. Let's do a little bit of a launch. This thing is fast. This is actually really fun to drive. So, 0 to 60, going kind of uphill. So honestly, you can feel the tires fighting for traction. It's about 50 degrees out, so it's not the coldest, but this packs a lot of torque, still delivers the power really well. And as we take some quick turns, this is a really solid vehicle. I think Kia did a great job making it feel like a premium vehicle, especially asking, over $60,000 for this. Honestly, I think it's worth every penny. It just drives so smooth. You have a great view out, huge windshield with good visibility. Mirrors all do a great job. And then of course the technology, the lane keeping just keeps the car really safe. You have a lot of visibility over your left and right shoulder. So I just like how easy it is to be in. Just a comfortable car, and the power delivery is so fun to play with. This thing is peppy. It really does move. Fit and finish is pretty nice as well. When you're in here, it's just easy to use, and it really feels like a normal car. A lot of electric cars, these EVs, sometimes are a little weird, I would say. However, the EV6, it feels like you're at home. It feels like a normal car to drive, and yet you get the instant power from those electric motors. And I like with the GT, I like how they've done that to where this is genuinely a quick vehicle. Man, oh man, this thing really does pack a punch. Suspension is still nice when you're going over bumps. A little bit of tire squeal right there. And when it is raining or really cold out, you definitely fight traction just a little bit. Obviously this is on probably summer tires, I would assume, but it has a lot of power. You really wouldn't want it any more powerful because then you probably would be fighting for traction. But overall, this is just a really nice car to be in, and it feels nice and normal. However, the GT just gives you that extra punch. Gosh, you just get thrown back in your seat so easily. Man, this car is insane to drive. So then flipping the cameras around to my honest thoughts, my perspective. Honestly, I think I'm a pretty big fan of the EV6. I think if you look at the spectrum of electric cars, this one is one of the best ones out there. It actually drives like a nice normal car. Now we have this car, we've had it for about a week now, and we took this on a business trip actually about 100 miles away. And while the range is, I'd say, is the only downfall, 200 miles kind of does give you some range anxiety. The hotel we were at over the weekend actually had chargers in the hotel parking. So we had this charging and plugged in over the weekend to where we didn't actually have any issues with the range because we had easy access to a charger. Now, normal charging, it takes like 72 hours or something if you have the basic charger. However, if you have the level 2 or 3, whatever the biggest one is, you can do pretty much an 80% charge in just 18 minutes. So if your house is equipped correctly, you'll be able to charge it nicely, and if you find the right stations, it won't be too bad. However, it's definitely a lot less range than the standard EV6. So that's probably one of the downfalls. The seats, while they look cool being the performance bucket seats, it fits the GT, they're definitely on the stiffer side. They're not uncomfortable at all. I mean, we were in this car for about 200 or 300 miles so far, and it's a nice place to be. The headrest though part is kind of farther back, so you know, not the most comfortable if you compare it to the normal EV6, but again, you're getting the GT, you want those bolsters, you want the cool look and things like that. But when you're in this car, it's just a nice place to be. This is the third one we've had to test out. We've had a normal one, a GT line, and now the GT, and it's just as smooth. I'm not sure if they've tweaked the suspension. However, the suspension does feel a little bit stiffer than the other ones we've driven. So just know that, you know, you can feel the bumps a little bit more. Not to say it's not comfortable and smooth. However, you're just going to notice that just a little bit more than the standard vehicle. But it's quiet and comfortable. The technology in Kias, honestly, is fantastic. The lane keeping, the forward collision, the distance pacing for cruise control. When you're on the highway, you barely have to even drive the car. You set it on a cruise control setting, and the car does the rest. Honestly, you can drive with no hands and just kind of relax, almost as if it's an autonomous car. So I was really, really impressed with just driving this on the highway, cruising, zipping around. It was so easy. And because we have so much power, when I was coming home the other day, late at night, you know, I wanted to get home, getting in the lanes where no cars were. If I wanted to get ahead of everyone, put in sport mode, just give it a little bit of throttle, and you are gone. So it is a fun car to cruise around in. The drive modes are also really good. Now, eco mode is definitely a little sluggish if you're trying to hurry up and get into traffic. You know, you might need to quickly change it, but I like how, because these buttons are so large, even if your steering wheel's turned where you don't quite know where everything is, it's really easy to tap that button at least once or twice to go into sport or normal and continue accelerating even quicker. I noticed I did that quite a few times if I was in eco mode. You know, if I needed to get up and go, just quickly tap the drive mode and you're moving. So the drive modes are fantastic. The driving in general is really nice in this. And being the GT, you know, you got those bigger brakes, that power. This car is fun. It sounds pretty cool, just the noises it makes for the different drive modes. We're in the GT mode right now. It packs a punch. Now we're down to a 54% charge, so we're definitely using some more juice in the sport mode now. But I really don't have many complaints aside from just the range isn't as good as the normal one because of the extra power, and the seats are on the stiffer side. Other than that, this is really one of the best EVs out there, and I think it's priced really well. I think you get all the technology you would want to be a modern feeling car. It's easy to use, the fit and finish is nice, it looks great. Honestly, I have no issues with the look. I think it's sporty looking, very clean lines. It looks like something above and beyond, and when you drive it, it just drives like a nice car. And I could see owning one of these if you're maybe in the city, just kind of zipping around. Obviously, long trips, you're going to be charging a lot and probably be kind of inconvenient, but that's EVs in general. But this is one to get. If I had to buy one with my own money and I wanted to keep the cost a little bit lower than buying a premium brand like an Audi or a Porsche, you know, the EV6 is something I'd buy. All right, 0 to 60. Woo. And 60. And 70. Oh, this thing is a quick EV. I like it. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.